Hey guys, welcome back to Handstands with Zoe. I'm so sorry I didn't post a video last week. I know I promised, but I was really busy and I just didn't have any time, so sorry. But anyway, here it is. I promised that I would show you some exercises to increase your flexibility in your hamstrings, lower back, hips and legs. So that's what I'm going to do today. And again, I would suggest to you that if you haven't watched my other videos, that you would go back now and just have a quick look. I've tried to follow a bit of a progression so that each time you watch a video, it starts to make a little bit more sense. There's so many components to a good handstand, but flexibility in your hips and your hamstrings and lower back are really important, although they might not seem to be at the beginning. Once you start progressing and wanting to learn more difficult handstand shapes, the tuck, the straddle, the press exercise, all of those are going to require flexibility in the areas I was talking about. So I've talked about this before, but obviously we do tend to lead quite sedentary lives, and a lot of us sit most of the day, especially if you work in an office. So we tend to sit hunched forward and with our legs bent all the time, which sort of teaches our hamstrings to shorten and our lower back to tighten. And what I would recommend is, instead of killing yourself, one day a week stretching, try to get into those positions a little bit more often in your day. So even if it just means getting up and leaning over and touching your toes, I would say that that's much better than doing nothing and then just hitting it really hard one time a week. So I'm going to show you some exercises that I use for my own training, and I also use it on my students. You should probably do these exercises before you start your training, just to loosen everything off a little bit and make it easier for yourself. But you can also do them after, or even if you're not having a handstand training session and you just want to get a little bit more mobility.
So this is actually an exercise I've borrowed from yoga. If you stand with your feet together and then you grab behind your heels, try to relax your head completely and then pull the top of your head down towards the floor, keeping your back as flat as possible, using your arm strength to do this. So once you've warmed up your back and your hamstrings a little bit, you can try this same exercise sitting down on the floor. So as you reach forward, try to really pull the top of your head towards your feet without letting your back round like that. So you can try a variation of this exercise in a narrow straddle position, feet just a little bit wider than hips. And again, just trying to keep your back super flat, pulling the top of your head towards your feet. So to warm up my hips even more, I like to get into a froggy position, which is just a sort of variation on the box split. You just want to make sure you have your knees and your hips in line in this position. And then you can extend out fully into the middle split or the box split position. Again, my knees are rolled forward, so I'm not in a pancake. And then I also like to do this sitting up, as it sort of trains my active middle split flexibility. So the last exercise I like to do is called the swim through. And I like it because it's basically a combination of all the exercises we've just done. So the front fold and the froggy and the box split. You can do reps of these to really warm up the hips. There's less exercises for the tuck shape. And again, I've sort of stolen it from yoga, but it's just great. If you grab your elbows with your opposite hands and then you pull your knees down towards your chest, the object is to keep your back as flat as you can on the floor, and then just look down at the space between your knees.
Alright guys, well that's it. I hope you found those exercises helpful, and I will be releasing another video hopefully next week if my schedule isn't too busy. So you can also follow me on Instagram. I've got an account called Handstands with Zoe, and I do like a handstand picture every day, different locations. You can also go to my website, which is handstandswithzoe.com, and you can get in touch with me regarding any private lessons or workshops. So, see you next time!